Welcome back, everyone, to the show. We continue the action. Swedish Canadians versus Polar Ace. I just want to say, chat, please stop roasting Sub Rosa while he DJs for us, okay? He's just trying to bring us entertainment, baby. Let him play his music, okay? Leave him alone. My name is Strong Legs. This fine young gentleman right here is Boggs, and we'll be the ones bringing you the commentary for this upcoming matchup, which I imagine should be a pretty good one, Boggsy.
Oh yeah, we got some more overpass. So if you were here for the first game between Chaos and Warriors, well, you get to see some more overpass, and what I would assume will go on for a little bit longer than our first matchup of the night.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with that one. I think this one is a little bit less of an overdog underdog, but Swedish Canadians, they're on the come up, man. They just got invited to FPL. They're kind of on a really high strung, high vibrancy right now. They're up there right now in terms of energy, excitement to play. Their motivations have probably just been refreshed. So I think they're vibing. I think they're chilling, and they're about to bring us something special, hopefully. But I do suspect that Polar Ace will be looking to combat this. We talked about the
Oh
fact
yeah,
that they have been a long-standing roster. We've talked about the fact that they've had chemistry for a long, long time. Of course, Renz, Magawi are been together for a while now, as well as Dangle, and all of them are pretty talented, and they're kind of like the next come up. You know what I mean? So I expect this to be close.
yeah. I mean, if you just look at their previous matches, for overpass was actually the most recent match played by Swedish Canadians. It was an overtime victory over Infinity. And Polar Ace played Infinity a little bit ago on Overpass 2, and it was a 16-12 win. So just off of that, I mean, Polar Ace definitely have some legs to stand on. Although Swedish Canadians do have the better win rate, Polar Ace definitely play this map a lot more. Polar Ace love Overpass. They play it as pretty much as often as they can get. And they do get it really often, as it's a map that pretty much everybody knows how to play, and not very many people like to ban in NA.
Yeah, Bugs, we're being vote kicked in chat. This is madness. Chat, behave, chat. But I do see about 9 players in the server right now. So as soon as that 10th player connects and the ninth round begins, we will, of course, be switching to the action. But in the meantime, I actually am curious to kind of go over the recent results, just to kind of get a better idea of what to expect and kind of have an idea of what we're looking at. Where are these players headed? Are they trending upwards? Are they trending downwards? What's going on behind the scenes? What's going on in terms of the recent performances? And like you said, they've been playing similar teams. They're kind of at the same level at the moment. But Swedish Canadians, they've toppled under 21 in a 2-0. They've toppled New England Whalers 2-0 as well. Morning Light 2-1 on that one. And they did go overtime against Infinity, who Polar Ace did defeat 16-12. So that's a big one. But Polar Ace, they lost to Morning Light 16-8 on Overpass recently.
Yeah, that's a bit of an asterisk, I think, in their overpass because I mean, Morning Light is one of those teams that, well, they do practice, but it's not one of those teams that practices hardcore. It's not like the Triumphs or the Chaoses or teams like that, Recon 5 even. So I think that's a bit of an asterisk there for Polar Race to kind of drop by such a large margin to Morning Light. But, you know, maybe it just was an off day. Those do happen. And while Swedish Canadians are kind of doing really well in the MDL right now, Polar Race are holding their own too.
Yeah, actually, I just want to point out that Morning Light actually defeated Swedish Canadians on Overpass as well. So they've both lost to Morning Light on Overpass, but it was 16-14, not quite the 16-8 that Polar Ace had, unfortunately. Now, I do see 10 players in the server, so it shouldn't be too much longer. But let's talk about the dynamic of Swedish Canadians, right? I mean, they lost most of their roster, of course. I think mostly to the release of Valorant, who have most of the players have already migrated over. They have reconstructed their roster, of course. Vec being an incredibly talented young player, that was one of their pickups, as well as Austin, who also just got invited to FPL. Or I think he might have qualified himself into FPL. And Battery, he's kind of the latest addition as well. So I'm starting to wonder, like, what is their dynamic? Like, who's IGLing for them at this point, right? Because I see Joel's here, I see Battery here. These are all players that are pretty vocal. Austin is pretty vocal in the mid round as well. So and Wolfie, I imagine, will probably be bringing that experience and then some of that vocality in the mid round as well. So I'm kind of curious to see if their minds are going to clash, right? Are they going to be kind of like, no, let's do this, no, but we should do that instead, or is it more so going to be like, kind of like the voice of the leader, right? Going, okay, we're doing this, and everyone's like, all right, we're in line, let's go.
Yeah, I think that'll be interesting to see. There's a lot of firepower in Swedish Canadians and a lot of solid players. I think as you mentioned, the big question is how will they all mesh as far as the mid round goes? And mid rounding, something you taught me a long time ago, Roy, is the most important part of your round. It can make or break your entire round, and even more based off how your economy is going. So,
All right, but
if
less
there's classes,
predictions, and it's time for us to see what's gonna happen, huh? Mel, kick the
yeah,
show. Let's begin this action.
knife round, time to go. See who gets that CT side start, which of course everybody wants, that coveted CT side start. And really, with the nerf of the Krieg, it's become a much more even game again. It hasn't been so Krieg-sided anymore. And Dust 2 is not a, well, just drop a Krieg down the middle. You don't even need an op on T side anymore map. And it looks to be a pretty clean win by Polar Ace. They only lose one player. They'll start off at the CT side, and gives them a great chance to start off on the right foot.
Yeah, and we've been talking about how this map is slowly kind of shifting back to the traditional score lines, right? Where it's not as, at one point it was like looking pretty T-sided, right? There's teams getting like 9 rounds on the T side, sometimes 10 rounds on the T side.
Yeah, those score lines definitely have been fading away towards a more normal scoreline 9-6 CT, but I think the game of Counter-Strike will forever be changed towards a more T-sided approach. As we see, though, Battery going to batter WoW down, as Swooly, also known as WoW on the Polar East side. The Swarm is in for the tease, but Battery drops down 2-3 kills for him. Wolfie picks up one more. Dangler all left alone like a dangling limb. I don't know what more he can do here. He's coming in on the back lines through Monster, but there's a couple players here, Wolfie and Vec, trying to shut this down. Dangler, well, he's going to have to hit some crisp headshots to give himself a chance, but it's going to be Vec to do the very same as Swedish Canadians overwhelm that B bomb site, get that plant down, and have a very clean pistol.
Yeah, and the most impressive part about that round is the amount of puns he made there in one sentence, Boggs. I was actually pretty impressed by that one. For now, it is going to be Swedish Canadians picking up the pistol, and it seems like Polar Ace have taken the bait. They're biting. They're going to go for the force buy. They're going to go with the scouts. They're going to go with the CZs and armor, the full investments with the Deagles as well. They have smoke, so they have ways to slow down, to delay, to buy themselves time. But no kits, no nades for early damage. That scout's already doing work. That's one. Wolfie's been tagged.
It's the good old tag him and bag him. It's already got the first tag. Just need the Deagles to get the bag. Although Efton's still sticking around towards Divider for some more damage. You might even catch a headshot over towards Party. Wolfie, though, might just toss that Galil over to Joel's when he gets the chance. Doesn't want to give up that rifle to anybody too easily. Joel's, though, good nade damage onto one, and Khan sprays down both. There's a nice bit of damage and a couple kills going the way of Joel's. Bit of bank money, too. 1,200 in cash ready for him, but Efton, he finishes the job on the Wolfie. And now it's 4v3 and a bit of a stall for Swedish Canadians, as I don't think they want to face an Efton who's hitting all of his scout shots.
Yeah, I mean, if you are going to face him, it might as well be with the full brunt of an Executor hit together, right? Don't let him get too many shots off. But they're slowing down. They're not really peeking him any longer. That smoke will deny vision for the scout. He either has to decide if he's going to... Oh, he's going to scrim it at the Battery. He's healthy. He's looking for that fight. A shot for shot would work favorably for him, but it's not even going to be a shot for shot. It's going to be a straight headshot by Battery. And that's only 2 players remaining now. It's WoW and Renz.
Deagle and a CZ. Deagle strikes for one. Can it get a second? He cannot. It gets shut down. WoW will go down to Joel's as well, who gets himself a lot of money. 4 kills in that MAC-10, the sole SMG purchased by Swedish Canadians. And they're up to a 2-0 scoreline. Should be a third on the board, as Polar Ace will not have anything really to buy into this next round. The Swedish Canadians, really for a high-flying start on Overpass, get themselves in a good chance if they can win this ensuing gun round following round number 3 to put themselves up 5-0 and start to establish a stranglehold onto a fledgling CT economy and really build up that T-side bank, which is so hard to topple.
Okay. For one deal so far. Battery looking for a little bit of his own action, but I don't think he's liking the numbers. He might have the better firepower, but 3 people might be a little too much to handle. And it's going to be Battery, long range, a much better position for him now. Now it's just down to Dangle and Swooly, aka WoW. At this point, they're just looking for economic damage. They can get that AK out of Battery, and it's amazing. But it's a tough angle to get past here.
It's a good angle for Battery, though. Just do as damage as he can, minimize his losses, and we'll do just that. Eliminate WoW. And Dangler is going to try and save what he has. The Galil in hand. It's essentially an M4, just a bit of a harder spray to control and less initial accuracy. But for all intents and purposes, it's 3,100 that you don't have to spend for Polar Ace. While we have this downtime, though, when we're talking about M4s, what do you think about the recently reduced A1S, Roy?
Yeah, trash weapon. I don't think I'll ever... Like, that weapon needs a serious rework, I think.
Like a faster fire rate, perhaps?
Yeah, and why does it have 25 bullets? It just doesn't make any sense.
Well, it used to have 20.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, nah, I'm sticking with the A4. I like the faster fire rate. I like the fact that it has the higher multi-frag potential. Although the A1S is nice for long-range battles. I will give it that. But at that point, why not just go with the AUG?
Yeah, I mean, the AUG is still extremely viable.
Yeah, extremely viable, especially now with the kind of the irrelevancy of the SG. But let's focus on this round, because this is going to be a pretty important one here for Polar Ace. This is the round they're looking for, right? They forced up in the second round so they can get these double ops up as soon as possible. And they have one in the hands of Dangle, as well as Renz. Have kits, have utility. Let's see if Swedish Canadians will work into their hands here.
Oh, that's a good read from McGowie, not allowing the boost to come to fruition. Joel shut down early. And the double op's not even revealed yet either. There's still 2 kits, 2 for Polar Ace. That's also go a long way to keeping them alive and giving them a chance into this round if a bomb does go down and Swedish Canadians can establish post plants. The utility a little low already for the T side, though. Just 2 smokes, 2 flashbangs, and a Molotov. Same could be said for Polar Ace, but their utility was never that strong to begin with in this round, as they did go straight for that double big green setup. Right now, though, it seems to be an ace het for Swedish Canadians. They have these 3 players out towards bathrooms. One rotating in is going to be Austin. But up close and personal, Efton's ready to shut this down. The op of Dangler peering over towards long doors. And all 4 players now for Swedish Canadians ready for this execute. Efton at the edge of the smoke. A shadow will betray him, but I think he might just get the information. He's going to stop the bomb, surely. Efton, he's got them both from behind. He might even get himself a third on the Vec. Dangler's strike with the op. And Vec, well, he's not going to be long for this world, is he? As Efton's going to get himself the triple kill as Polar Ace, a flawless gun round. The double ops don't even come into a factor. It's all down to Efton and McGowie. And they've got themselves the first round.
What a position by Efton, though. That was so risky, but it was also perfectly timed, right? They didn't have time to fake and delay that. They had to go. As soon as that smoke was about to fade, that was their go time. He was in that perfect position and caught them completely unsuspecting. And I think it's this type of X factor that's going to throw Swedish Canadians off, right? They may be expecting a little bit more respect. Maybe they're expecting them to play a little bit more standard, but this ninja play right here, I like that. It's sneaky.
Yeah, I mean, it's a gamble of a play, but it worked out pretty well. It's a decent risk, but a very high reward. And all things considered, I think the risk-reward factor there for Efton definitely paid off in his favor. Vec, though, going to try and shut things down. Tries to flash himself in. Instead, just succeeds in flashing himself. It's a bit of a default out for Swedish Canadians. One towards short. Battery, though, in bathrooms has spotted Efton. The op from Dangler might get a chance to strike, but instead it's Battery for the first. He's pushing forward and trying to send Dangler down 6 feet under, but Dangler's going to fall back slightly from the Molotov. Continue scoping his angle down through the bathrooms. So now more time is passing by. 52 seconds on the clock. The bomb recovered and heading down towards B. As Swedish Canadians, well, they've got to pick on A. Why not take it the other way and see what the waters are like on B?
Now let's see if they deal well with McGowie, right? This is such a nice adjustment from him. They lose a player. He realizes there's no pressure. Now he hears the door opening. And he might find one and a potential second. And he does. And he goes from disadvantage to advantage for his team. But meanwhile, Austin and his teammate are opening up the B site. Have to deal with McGowie here in the waters. But actually, they're going to ignore him in water. They're just going to press forward.
I kind of like that call. You get that op down, but you still have to deal with Dangler, who's going to send another one down to the grave. Wolfie now in a 1v2, and McGowie's coming on the flank through Monster. Vex stuck between a rock and a hard place. He's been spotted out by McGowie, who has a better angle. And now, Vex, not much you can do. Caught in the open, and the defuse will come through with a decent amount of time for Polar Ace. They do keep both ops up as well, should they desire him, or they can go for the AK too. All depends on what they want to do. And actually, they are going to grab the AK, not the double op. So they do have a lot of money, considering 3 players at 7K, including McGowie, you saved. So does it make sense to keep that AK up instead of the double op when you can just go reinvest for another one. Timeout called, though, by Swedish Canadians. And I think this is a good timeout. Try and slow things down, stop the bleeding. And there's 4 nades, so figure out where you want to throw that nade stack and maybe get a pick or two.
I'm leaning some sort of B nade stack here. They either might go for the jump spot nade stack, the triple. They could go for the up close wood angle. That's another nice one. Or there's the classic hit nade stack barrels, right? That always works as well. I am kind of curious to see where that's going to go, but I must admit, I like the decision from Polar Ace, right? They kept the AK. They know they're up against the eco here. They can build bank further, although the op, in my opinion, in that scenario would have been a lot more cost effective for them for the time being, but I think they're confident here in this play. But with the double op setup, they don't really have the same kind of playmaking, right, that you would with rifles, traditionally speaking. Like, yeah, you can go for the aggressive picks. Probably not a good idea against the full eco for a half buy here for Swedish Canadians. But I imagine they're going to be playing more standard, and that's where the nades for the Swedish Canadians will be prime time, right? Know where they're going to be with the ops. You have an idea. Find them, nade strike, maybe get a weapon, possibly 2, and try to flood your way onto a site.
Yeah, and actually I spoke too soon. It's a Polar Ace technical, so. Yeah. I was just thinking, well, 2 rounds in a row kind of got battered. Swedish Canadians wanted to slow things down, but yeah.
Almost impressed, Boggs. I was almost impressed with their tactical timeout.
Yeah, I mean, you don't normally see people use their timeouts in NA. It's refreshing to see, but I guess not so much as it wasn't a tactical timeout in the end. Although I am happy to see the nade stack come straight out from Swedish Canadians. They can do so much damage with them. They have the Deagles, P250s to back it up, and they still have more than enough to reinvest in the following round. If they can get an op or 2 out of the hands of Polar Ace, that in and of itself is a victory.
Right, yeah. 3 guns here, and you've almost won the round, right? They're just going to go for the standard amount with nade stack, and it's going to do a bit of damage here. Evans has no escape out of this one, but actually the Molotov might have allowed him to get out. Nice nade to follow up on top of that kill, and he's fallen back into the potential safety of his teammates. Oh, damn. Looking for the pick as well. About 500 MS there on the reaction time.
Yeah, I think he might have thought that the re-peak might have come through and was trying to time it, but instead the pistol wide swing won't come through just yet. He'll have to reposition. Playing with fire, Dangler, though. Going for these jump picks, a Deagle could very easily catch him over dice. The boost up from Vec 2 might just catch him beyond the lane, but instead Polar Ace are going to play this wisely. They're going to turtle up on site. They don't want to rush these pistols, or they don't want to get caught off, take a Deagle to the face, or even a P250 double tap. So instead, they'll retain their site control, not allow a bomb plant to come through from Swedish Canadians, and more or less bide their time because they have no pressure at all. Time is on their side now. The firepower is on their side, man advantage on their side, health is on their side, everything in this round on their side, and Renz will make it more so. He gets himself a second battery, though, blocks down Dangler. That's a little rough.
That's actually a weapon they could get and probably use to win. They only have 30 seconds, but nah, that hits coming in from all directions. The Polar Ace players are just swarming. And things are tied up. 3-3. 1 casualty. Not a big deal. The op was recovered. Actually, wait. It was not recovered. That's a big loss, actually.
Yeah, Dangler really low on utility now. After that loss, he has no money left over in the bank either. So for Swedish Canadians, the nade stack might not have gone their way, but the Glock kill from Battery does go a long way for themselves to take out the op and hurt the economy at the very least of Dangler. And now, Polar Ace have already used up a decent amount of utility. Minute 30 still left to play. Swedish Canadians, while they might have a Galil, have a lot of smokes and flashbangs left over. And a lot of B map control, however, they've abandoned the A site. No fountain, no long control. Dangler could start aggressing into playground, or Efton could do the very same. Connector is wide open, which is a bit of a concern, but since making the full-on B hit, 3-4 kills, 5 kills all going back and forth, 3v2 for Polar Ace. The op still lives on B, but Renz is sticking just behind the flames. That's going to be a nice kill from Joel's. Efton, he's being read by Vec in this 2v2. Efton peeks in, but it's Joel's to take him down. Op from Dangler. That investment, the only bind to this round, is the last thing keeping Swedish Canadians from a round victory. Their first gun round victory. And it's going to be a swing from Joel's that does it again. All 3 kills, 1v1 aim duels, and they're all sprays with the Galil.
That was such a nice call from Swedish Canadians, Boggs. I like that. They pop flash for the short A peak, or the short B peak, excuse me. They know that, you know, one op's going to be B, one op's going to be towards A site. They flashed, they swarmed, and they waited for the second flash before they advanced even further than that. And then they just traded out on site. That's massive. And that kill against Efton in the 2v2 pretty much secured the deal there for Swedish Canadians. But now we're on the final buy here for Polar Ace before their economy is reset. So they really need to hold their ground here, Boggs. Have the op for Renz. Not quite as healthy on utility this time around. They will have to win the crossfires in the defenses once it comes in from the Swedish Canadians. But right now, Swedish Canadians, they're not quite decided on what they're going to do. They pressured early towards B, and now they're just walking off, headed back towards the A site. But they have a lot of ground to retake here, so it will take some time.
Lucky for them, Polar Ace are hiding on the sites, both A and B, just trying to hold their angles. They know they don't have the utility for any prolonged fights out in the open. And that CZ from Dangler might come back to bite them. It's a bit of a concern there. The 2 kits, though, is a bright spot for Polar Ace. A lot of times you'll see teams in these positions not having any kits, and that does come back to bite them. There are 2 on WoW and McGowie. But there's only 1 smoke left. 3 flashbangs total, 40 seconds on the clock. And Swedish Canadians starting to walk all the way up long. They have full control, almost along bathrooms. The double stack out towards bathrooms on lane might counter something, but they've dropped off. It's a double push in, and Dangler, he needs to double down with the CZ or things are going to get real rough on this A-site defense.
Rough fight there for Dangler. That's going to be the opener now in the transition from Swedish Canadians onto the site, but there's only 12 seconds left. If there's anyone that can stop it, Boggs, that will be the end right then and there. But the bomb does get down safely. Good coverage from his teammates. Feck eliminates Efton, and I think that's a pretty much instant safe call there coming out for Polar Ace. They know their situation is completely disadvantageous, and they're abandoning ship. Couple M4s. The op saved here as well for Renz. Not a bad call here for the Polar Ace. Thing is, like, Swedish Canadians also have no money to pursue here. They already lost 1 gun. Max they can risk here is 1 more rifle at best.
And definitely not the op.
Yeah, no, the op is definitely a no-go here.
Well, I think Austin might be getting a little aggressive. He has Wolfie with him, but no, they will fall away wisely. Leave Wolfie to keep an eye on that little gap, but Polar Ace, no, they can't risk anything either. They will turtle up on site. They will not go for anything over aggressive. There will be rifle saved. I'm assuming that Dangler and Efton won't buy here. Maybe WoW will drop a pistol or 2. Stock pistols for the 2 remaining players from Polar Ace. Saved guns for the rest. And a full buy from Swedish Canadians. A chance to try and build a bit of a bank here. Of course, there are the 2 rifles in the op. 3 guns total for Polar Ace. But Swedish Canadians do have themselves a bit of a chance to build up a bank and start to establish that war chest.
Players on the right here. I think they're hearing all this commotion from the Canadians, so they know they're right around the corner. Efton has a USP to defend himself here. One. Vec does not check that at all. That's the bomb gone down. That has to be recovered. Now Polar Ace can send all their numbers over here if they can make it there. Dangle's getting pressured. Wolfie from above with the perfect teamwork right there for Swedish Canadians to squeeze out the kills, but now the shots pop off. This is where Renz has space to find kills. The only 2 players they lost, Boggs, were the USB players. Now it's the real guns and the armor here in play in a 3v3. This is completely winnable now for Polar Ace.
It is extremely winnable. They have the information on batteries. Caught with a nade out already through 1. Has a second primed and ready to go. Joel's might get flanked through connector as well. McGowie is holding, so he's not going to get flanked. But Austin is going to give him the false positive that B is clear. Surely Joel's has to clear outside of con. There's only 30 seconds on the clock. They have to go. The flash is in. McGowie's blind. Joel's dropping down. Will be able to convert that kill. Now it's a 2v2. Plant coming through. Joel's walking head down to make sure he makes it onto the site. There's no Molotovs, no nades, smoke for Austin, but he's sitting close on the green door, hoping to catch somebody not looking. Now it's Renz again in the 1v2. He has an angle onto the box. If he takes the shot, he might just get lucky, but he doesn't connect. Now they know where he is. Austin moves up close and personal underneath. But Ren still needs to find an opening kill. He now knows Austin's close. The double swing comes in, but it's not going to be traded out. Austin eventually will, but that was way too close for comfort. Swedish Canadians lucky to escape with their round intact.
I saw it, Boggs. I saw it happening there for a split second. Renz, he almost secured that. Such a nice try, but unfortunately for Swedish Canadians, the trade is there, and they secure the round. But that was almost a failed round for Swedish Canadians. Polar Ace, they've been relegated to a little bit weaker weapons, and they'd like no ops available, no kits, and they've already lost Dangler from top of the smoke here by Wolfie, who's been on a tear with that AWP, Boggs.
Oh yeah, he's a great opera to watch. Extremely quick, extremely smart, really good on the movement and rotations around the map on CT sides. Definitely a guy to keep your eye on moving forward through NA and even moving forward in North American Counter-Strike in general. An opera to keep your eye on in a region, which, I mean, we kind of have a bit of a dry spell for like top-tier operas as it stands right now. So, you know, guys like OC making their mark shown, and Wolfie definitely might be one of those next up-and-coming prolific offers to finally make a mark in the NA scene.
A part of me almost feels like a passive play is right now for Polar Ace, but there it is. Wow. Take things into his own hand. Is Swooly WoW confirmed?
Yes.
Okay. Making sure it is him. Ren's very one and done position, but he's not even good for one, but he sets up F10 for at least two here, as long as he can capitalize off it. The trigger discipline. Oh, what? No! Wolfie, his EU brain was tingling, Boggs. There it is. Actually, wait a second. Swooly can right here. Maybe it's possible.
Yeah, great little swing from WoW, but he has a lot more work to do. He gets the second kill. That was a 2v2, but he does not get the third. Vex shuts him down, holding crouched on the bench, and now McGowie comes in from bank, looking to get some cash money for his team, but Joel's knows exactly where he is. And while the first shot might not have connected, the last one will. And Swedish Canadians now 7 rounds to 3 up on Polar Ace. And Roy, the money for the CT side
is
an absolute shambles at this point.
Yeah, what's in shambles is my brain with that trigger discipline from F10. That's what's shambling right now, Boggs. He got set up perfectly. Renz took one for the team. He died for it. He died for the bait setup, and they just couldn't capitalize off it. That has to be a little bit frustrating for his teammate.
Yeah.
Oh man, but yeah, you're absolutely right here. The economy not quite where it needs to be, but at least in this next round they'll have everything. They'll have ops if they want that. Now it's just havoc through smokes. Beck and Austin tagging down Swooly. McGowie down to 60 HP. You know, unless somebody's popping off here with a deagle, I don't see a version where Polar Ace comes out on top.
Is this even a round that could afford to play passive in? I mean, you're on the Pistols. You have to create something. You have to create some space and give yourself a chance to win something, not just to rely on the other team to walk right into you. Swedish Canadians' utility usage has also been extremely good at flushing them out, and also the flashbangs have been on point. But they're going to have to get really lucky here. They actually do. McGowie gets 2. He's gone for more. He will not be able to eliminate Battery. Joels pushes in next in line. It's Battery and Joels for 2 and 3 total. And Dangler, well, he might get one more. But Swedish Canadians, they are able to salvage that round. It came a little bit close for comfort.
Yeah,
McGowie with those 2 kills could have turned into more, but
if he had like even half a second to just pick up that AK and reset fully, I could see it, Boggs. I could almost see it right there. That was insane. That was really well played by McGowie. But Swedish Canadians, they keep the train rolling. 8-3. Op is available for Dangle. Utility and kits now as well for Polar Ace, and they're going to attempt something different here. They're going to go for the short A control, but it's the off leading the charge, and unfortunately that's not a reliable weapon for entering, and Austin will find both kills, no point of damage taken, no casualties in return, and they've lost the map control they were hoping for. Down to the hands of Swooly here. He has the lock, but he can't quite stabilize his aim with Joel's eliminating him now. I think that's the chances for Polar Ace in this round, Boggs. Then
I would definitely have to agree with that.
Friends are both here, Boggs.
They are
Canadians
here,
walk off. Everything is
they
good.
have to util.
But if they commit into this double man stack, maybe there's a chance.
I still don't see it. Renz is out in the open. He might be good for 1, but surely this doesn't go their way. Actually, no, he's in Toxic. I thought he was out exposed to Monster.
Hey.
They are tucked in there. It's a
They're
chance
in a
here.
crossfire, dude. They're going into a crossfire. And someone disconnected. This is their chance.
Good answer back from Austin. Bren still striking back. He's got to. It's a 1v1. And he's going to do it. The DC blesses them with a round. As it's the hold down. Reds with 3 from the barrels. And Swedish Canadians. Everything they had going for them disappears in a puff of smoke of a disgruntled router.
Wow. I don't know what. I felt that happening, dude. I knew this was possible. The crossfire was there. There's no way they're going to expect that. And as soon as that player dropped, I was like, oh no, dude. This is it. A disaster. Oh, man. That is... Oof. The crossfire, dude. That is insane. That is so unlucky also for Swedish Canadians because they did lose Wolfie, if I'm not mistaken. And he's kind of been tearing it up with the ops. So that would have been nice for them there on the trade. But, wow. I mean, even with the disconnect, though, that's still a 4v2, you know? Like, it's still incredibly favorable for you.
Nobody used utility to clear out Toxic, which is a big reason why Renz was able to get that triple from the barrels. I think they might have thrown 1 flash, but that was it, and they kind of waited on the take. The trade was there on short, but that was just about it. Now it's almost 5 here for Swedish Canadians to return to action. After he just shot his own teammate in the back!
And this is an enemy too. He collided. Wow. I think that's going
not the kind of trade frags you want to get.
Yeah, that's not ideal. That's not ideal. But hey, it's better than both you dying with nothing, I guess. For positives here, pulling at straws, but it's gonna be Wolfie, the man. He's coming back with vengeance for that unfortunate round, and it's gonna be Swooly just abandoning ship. He's gonna try to hold on to the Moss, unfortunate weapon. I think he might try to wrap all the way around for a weapon upgrade here on Fountain. He knows there's an AK here somewhere.
But wait, I think this is a broken buy for Swedish Canadians. It might not be an AK. I think they had a couple pistols, at least 1 pistol.
Yeah, I think he's just... I don't even think he's going for it. I think he's just literally just saving the FAMAS. Better than nothing, Boggs.
Yeah, it is better than nothing, although it's far from ideal. The FAMAS, or whatever you want to call the plural of FAMAS, I've still never gotten a straight answer as what the plural of the FAMAS is.
I think it's just FAMAS.
Yeah, that works. Or FAMI if you want to get like scientific, like an octopi, cacti.
Yeah, FAMI, I don't know. Something about FAMI just sounds not CS.
Yeah, I guess plural of FAMAS is FAMAS. Well, the FAMAS, not exactly the best gun or group of guns to have. Although, it can do damage. I think it's honestly worse than a Galil, by far.
Yeah. I'll take a Galil over the FAMAS any day. Not angle and then Eagles have the connector. The Molotov's gonna make the top. They're both ready for it. Nice double kill there by Joel, holding it down. They're completely ready for that as well. And they find themselves in another favorable scenario, which I do imagine they will convert unless McGowie's gonna go for the top lane Eagle. But nah, that's a lot of space spot with that kill as well. And I think Swedish Canadians are looking down the barrel of a potential 10-4 here. And maybe even an 11-4 finish on the T half box.
That's a massive T-half, and not a T-half you see in the post-Krieg era. I mean, nowadays, you'll be happy to get 7-8 rounds on a T side. And right now, Swedish Canadians already have 9, probably going to snatch double digits and a potential for 11-4. Polar Ace will have a buy up next round. Their loss bonus is at max, so that is not a concern for them. Although they might want to keep these players alive at the very least once this bomb goes down, because they can get more utility. And utility is such a factor on CT side overpass, and it's something that I think Polar Ace have been a little weak on. Swedish Canadians have been able to get a lot of map control with their own utility, and they've also been able to get a lot of based off of the lack of utility usage from Polar Ace, a lot of space gain based off of that as well. So I think overall, Polar Ace might just be better served to keep these guns and armor here. I guess armor for Renz, really, because he's not going to take the Deagle into the next round, but they need utility. They need the Molotovs. They need the smokes. And honestly, I think they need to get aggressive. They've been passive in so many rounds. The one round they did go aggressive towards short. Austin did the most ballsy play possible, smokes the Molotov, runs on through, and knows it goes down. And I don't think you can realistically rely on that. And now they just go for Ninja. Austin's going to get those two. Double. He'll fall to the bomb, but it doesn't matter for Swedish Canadians. They've got themselves 10. 5 for 4 per Polar Ace. 5 would be the best case scenario. And, well, they do have the buy to do it at the very least.
We haven't really... I feel like the only round where we saw something different from Polar Ace was the round they tried to go aggressive in water. But I haven't really seen anything too wild, right? It's been pretty standard play most of the time. Setting up triple towards B. They have the 2 players towards A. We haven't seen any triple aggression with rifles. We haven't seen any long A aggression.
Now we have Efton up close and personal out towards outside playground, but Battery's ready for this. He's in a really good angle to shut this down. He's going to peer on in, has the angle, sees the legs, and all the head soon to follow away from the shoulders of Efton. Great little kill there from Battery to start things off. Now it's a man advantage already for Swedish Canadians. I mean, it's still 1 minute 8 seconds to go, so a bit of time has ticked off the clock, but now it's Joel's again. Double kill towards short. That chimes in with one of his own. Dangler left alone in a 1v5, and again, it's Joel's with these god-tier double kills, being so impactful for Swedish Canadians, getting these entry kills and creating so much space for his team to work around.
Yeah, there's personally like no chance here for Dangler unless they all start peeking him one by one. Got some smoke. That pretty much seals the deal, I think. Oh, wait.
That's a pretty little shot there on the second. He's picked up a rifle, but he doesn't have a kit. I don't think there's anything down, and it won't even matter. It's Battery to pop up and send Dangler right back down. 11-4, T-side overpass. But look at that kill count for Joel's.
Right?
20-6.
That's insane. Literally insane. And that's a 3.33 KD if my math is correct here, my mental math.
Just about.
Yeah, it's exactly that, actually. Yeah, they say never do math on stream. Take that, production. Alright, let's see. This is the real test right here for Polar Ace. No pistol around here, no bomb plan at the very least. That might be a disaster.
Yeah, no pistol, no bomb plant, no party. Really, Polar Ace, they need the bomb plant at the very least. And even then, it's still a little rough. There's a 5-7 raid boss on Battery, too. Joel's picks up a smoke and drops that 5-7 over. Vec has the kit and double flash, being already used one of those to fall away. But that 5-7 could definitely come into play here. And with the armor on the body of Battery, he can definitely deal some damage or even charge his players up like the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah, another thing to note as well is that Polar Ace does not have any utility. They're all armored up. So right now, if they want any sort of success on this A site, they have to find the entry. If they delay, if they get spotted too soon, might struggle to get past the crossfire. But right now, there is no crossfire. It's just Austin holding the solo.
Austin, first point of contact out towards bathrooms, not connecting his shots, takes one to the dome, eventually mowed down by Wow. Bomb plant can come through at the very least for Polar Ace, and indeed it will. 4v5 retake, still a chance for Swedish Canadians, though, especially with the pushes coming through. That gets a chance for 2 here, but he does nothing at all. Joel trades back 1, but McGowie is there for 2 quick kills towards Bank Stairs and Battery. It's going to have to be the boss of the raid boss. He's in the 1v4, and actually, I think he's just going to run for the hills here, and wisely so. He already has a nice buy for the next round. He can deal some damage here, maybe force a reinvestment of armor for at least one more player. But overall, Swedish Canadians surrendering the pistol round here. A chance finally on the board for Polar Ace. But they will need to convert the following round and definitely get that 3-0 start. If they lose this force buy, they're going to be in rough waters.
A little bit slow there to react for Swedish Canadians.
Yeah, I think that they really didn't have a lot of information aside from the initial information of 1-2 guys out towards Fountain, and then Polar Ace just crept their way on up towards A, kind of exploded up, and Swedish Canadians playing stack on B. I think retake A setup and just didn't work out for them.
Now, Polar Ace, just 5-man walking out long. No sound cues, no early flashes, no bathroom smoke. Nice, slow, leisure walk out here towards sunny steps of Long A. There it is. They've been spotted.
Mac 10 chimes in for the first. More of a push out towards long, though. 4 players, conga line out. More flashes going through, but still, Swedish Canadians playing retake A again. It's going to allow WoW to mow down 2 towards Con. Austin in the bathrooms will get washed away by Renz, who gets himself 2 in the round as well. Polar Ace grab a 6th, but now here comes the bonus for the T side. Full buy from Swedish Canadians. With these Galils in the hands of the T side, Roy are going to find some unprotected heads of Swedish Canadians. And that Galil against unhelmeted players is extremely dangerous.
Look at this fast pace right now for the race. They're not stopping. They're not slowing down. They're even going through their own flames. Battery has no idea what's happening right now. Joel just realizes, dude, they're on site. And we have no one here to stop this. And it is Swedish Canadians now pretty much forced to make a save unless Wolfie can find an opening kill here or some sort of tipping of the balance. But I suspect that they're probably not going to push too far for this one. Yeah, they're already looking for places to save, Boggs.
Yeah, and I think they have to. McGowie might even get himself something too. Instead, it will be an AK upgrade potentially for Austin or one of the other Swedish Canadian survivors. Overall, though, great gun round for Polar Racer. Bonus round, really. That's going to allow them to grow their economy quite nicely. Swedish Canadians going to have to wait a while to get that op back in hand. And Polar Ace can basically grab themselves an 8th round for essentially free at this point. And they're going to cut the deficit down to 3 rounds. This is going to give themselves a massive chance. Swedish Canadians failing to put anything up on their CT side so far. Well, it's been a string of 3 for Polar Ace. Those pistol rounds, pistol round at first gun round, that gap starts to close immensely. And if this was a 10-5, we'd be looking at a tie game with relative ease for Polar Ace at this rate.
There's no follow-up purchase here for Swedish Canadians, by the way. Just a 3 rifle safe. They got a little bit of extra utility off that, but they are going to go for the X-Factor play. I like that. Smoke deep connector, get Vec boosted up, tip the balance early as possible, and they find themselves a man up with no damage traded back. And not only that, Boggs, but they got 50 damage out on Dangle as well.
That's solid. I mean, they have to go for a little bit of... And they do. They make it count. They got kill and half onto another player. They're forcing Polar Race away from the B site and back to A, where they only have 1. The lack of con control, again, seems to be a recurring theme for a lot of these teams on Overpass. I mean, back in like 2016, 2017, if you didn't have con control, you were going to lose the round pretty much guaranteed. And back when Fallen was in his prime with SK and LG, they always had con control. And that was why they were so good on Overpass. And here it seems to be the forgotten area of the map where teams more or less rotate around safely. And, well, they either go A or B. They don't really rotate quickly unless they have to. The rotations are coming in towards A now. Might force that con rotation out of Polar Race. There's 40 seconds on the clock. The lack of utility, though, for Swedish Canadians left means that there is a window of opportunity for Polar Race. Smoke's going to fly in towards A. Molotovs to follow. There's 3 players here to hold it down.
But it's a little bit off tempo, and they're only good for 1 kill on site so far, and they can't quite find their footing, Boggs, as they all get decimated off the A site. And now Joel's battery. Nice flank, nice kill. Quick and clean. That sets them up for the 2v2.
There's no kit. I believe there is one down, but I don't know where exactly it fell. Battery's now in a 1v1 as he's made it to the 1v1 after taking out McGowie. Upgrade to the AK, but time's starting to fleet away from him. Drops the smoke on site, taps that bomb, but he's going to swing out on the WoW. He catches him off guard. Does he have the time, though?
Yeah, he has not.
Yes, he does. Yeah, it's just a matter of finding that bomb in the smoke.
It is going to be close. Nah, okay, he's good, but if he delayed just like a couple more seconds. Oh, wait. No, he doesn't have it, dude.
What?
Dude, I felt it. I was like, I don't know if he actually has it. Maybe he might have it for maybe 1 second to spare, but nope, does not even have it. That
that's
is.
rough.
It didn't sound like the bomb was like ringing that fast, all right?
No, it sounded relatively slow. Like, I thought he had more than enough time for the 10-second defuse. I thought he was going to have a second or two to spare, but no. Like, it started to tick up faster, like that 5-second mark, when he was already around like 6 seconds, where you still have the margin of error where like it sounds like it's going to explode, but it doesn't. I thought he had it.
Yeah, I guess not. So either way, that was just kind of like a bonus gimmick round here for Swedish Canadians. Only 3 rifles in the round. Not too shabby, but I think the bigger problem here for me is that Polar Ace's economy, even with that round, is mountain of cash, Boggs. It is just stacked right now.
I'm pretty sure they can keep buying until they hit max loss if they get bomb plans at this rate. 10k on 2 players will diminish a little bit, but only McGowie is going to be hurting for money, and they're not going for the op on T side, so they will have that extra cash to buy. The AK, of course, significantly lower in price than the M4. So right now for Polar Ace, they win this round, they're right back in the cell and right back in this one, getting more rounds on the board. But Swedish Canadians still failing to get a round on the scoreboard in the CT side. It's been 4 straight for Polar Ace. A little aggression out towards Fountain might have spotted something for Swedish Canadians as they still go for that standard 2A, 3B set. But Polar Ace again out towards Long and Party. Still trying to group swarm wherever they go, kind of like a Zerg swarm. And I think it will be A again.
I feel like this is the trademark approach for Polar Ace, right? They love their 4-1s and their 5-0s, right? 5 players all in the same position. Can't possibly lose the trades to that. Swedish Canadians, they're looking to retake some ground, and I think with the lack of pressure towards the B site, they'll soon have an inkling that likely ending A site. Jules is already advanced in water. As soon as he gets into that position, Austin can begin to walk off and come stack towards the A side as well. But McGowie eliminates Wolfie. That's a big find. That's going to throw this all in the wrenches.
Oh yeah, and I'm pretty sure Wolfie had an op this round too, so that's a lot of money gone for nothing. Austin will trade it back. He does take a lot of damage though, but Vec has capitalized onto F over towards bathrooms. Austin doubles down from truck as well. Standing tall, he gets the 3rd kill. Wow is alone on a 1v4, and he's getting mowed down by Vec. Austin and Vec, such a strong hold. The op recovered as well. And Swedish Canadians will grab themselves the 12th round on the board. Finally, they get something going on their CT side, and actually Polar Ace's money has run out a little quicker than I anticipated.
Yeah. I really thought Polar Ace with that opening kill onto Wolfie had just pretty much secured the deal, right? They had a 5 versus 2 pretty much on site. Even a 5 versus 1 considering Renz was, I think it was, towards long A. Maybe not Renz, heck, but either way, Swedish Canadians, they put one on the board. Now Dangle looking for the opening frag with the op. Up close and personal towards the short B. He's just patiently waiting. As long as he's here, there's not a lot of mobility for the Swedish Canadians to move around on site.
That's a good start though from Austin again, swapping down to the B site, drops the Molotov to ward off the monster push. In fact, it's going to be a double molly. So no ensuing pushes will come through from Polar Ace. They do seem to be hedging their bets onto this B site still. Not too sure why they still want to go to the site, even though they got picked off once, but they're going to go for this. The flash over top will go through. Another one on the side. Blind the players in. Jules, though, he's up close and personal. Not anything though with Battery. 2 quick kills from the barrels. Makes it a 3v2. And Austin still lives. He's back to Graffiti. He's dealing damage on the WoW. Even Efton alone. He will get the bomb down at the very least. He's stuck in that smoke behind the pillar. Wolfie's got the op trained on his angle. There's a flank short. And Austin pops out from green door. Going to be all she wrote for Polar Ace in this round again. As Swedish Canadians finally stabilizing here on their CT side. The plant means that I think Polar Ace might be able to salvage a buy here. They could get Galils and AKs, but I think they'd be much better served by a half buy. I don't like the looks of a force here.
Yeah, I feel like a force here would put them in a really bad spot. No, they're just going to go for the hero AK. I kind of like this. Just let Fen pick it up. Although I would like to see him pass the AK to somebody who's kind of just more consistently fragging. Not that Fen is a bad player or anything, but you might as well get to somebody who's feeling it right now. But only a 1-for-1 so far. Vec has done a lot of damage, but no casualties for him just yet. He's going to fall off. They're going to have to forfeit the op. Now Polar Ace have traded a player for player and an extra gun. I think that's a pretty good deal for Polar Ace.
Yeah, and Ren's his armor too, so he has armor behind that op. It's not going to be a glass cannon. Although Vex still over towards Long might be able to catch something. He's heard Dangler running around, spots the shadow, and he will finish the job. Continues that spray a little longer, expecting a second player, but instead it's going to be Efton just waiting in the bathrooms on the benches, hoping somebody walks into his crosshair, but no dice for him so far. Swedish Canadians doing a great job of getting their picks not overextending after they do that. But it will be an extension from Efton, a necessary one. He will pick up the trade frag finally, bringing it to a 3v3, but the health on both Magawi and Renz is low. And Joel's Roy, he's already back in con, and he's about to pop up to Playground.
Yeah, I don't know if pop up or get completely destroyed here. Oh, wait, did he get spotted? No,
I think he
didn't.
got spotted, but they just wanted to go.
Oh, Joel's. He almost dropped the ball on that one. Now they know the bomb is headed towards the B site, but it's all a guessing game, right? Polar Ace could either reroute back to A or go back to B. Austin's making the right play and kind of eliminating that guessing game a little bit. He hears them both. He's in a good position for this one. He finds the first, and there's a second player right there. Ren's around the corner, wounded completely, and it is going to be Austin securing the round for his team. Swedish Canadians, not the flashiest of rounds, but fundamental at the very least.
Yeah, that's something to be said about them, too. They have not been the longest standing roster, but they do have solid fundamentals. There's a decent amount of experience on this team overall. And it's good to see them. I mean, their mid rounds on their CT side and their T side are quite good. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of butting of heads, which is something we brought up in the pregame, is how well they can mesh with the calling styles and how well they listen to their IGL, or even if they have a mix of IGLs, just everyone throw in what you want to do here, and well, whoever says something first, we'll go with it if we like the idea. But now Polar Ray starting to tear their way through this defense. Magawi and Dangler getting 2 quick kills. The AK is doing work, but Battery has the opposite of Wolfie. He's doing damage with it. Only gets 1, though. Magawi will get himself a second. And Swedish Canadians, well, they might have had a 2-3 round streak, but it's all coming down again. Polar Race grabbing themselves a 9th round, unless Joel's has any insane plays up his sleeve.
Yeah, it's called Save the Gun. Great play. One of my favorites, personally.
Bomb has been planted.
Yeah, and actually with Joel saving, Austin and Vec might be a little limited, but they will be getting 1,900, so just over 3K for both those players, 3,200 in the bank. They can get SMGs. Joel's could actually... No, he can't. So Joel's could drop over an SMG that can get full utility. Wolfie and Battery can have full buys. There's a chance Swedish Canadians go for this force here, although...
Yeah, I mean, Jones could drop a FAMAS, right? Definitely an option.
Oh, yeah, he could. Oh, he might not live to tell the tale, though, Roy. Actually, he will.
Oh, 5 HP, 5 HP.
Oh, he's
good.
That got a little too close for Joel's.
Yeah, I mean, he could drop a FAMAS here. That's not a problem. If he has the A1, no, he does not. Definitely does not have the A1 as equipped. I was going to say he could maybe drop that over as well, but I think this is a very important decision here for Swedish Canadians, and I hope they don't take it lightly. And there it is. Okay. Whew. Maybe there is hope for these teams to take tacticals in 2020 Boggs.
Yeah, you know, it might be a good change. Get them used to calling those tactical timeouts.
I think the problem is they've already made the decision, right?
Yeah.
With their buy, they can't go back. They can't sell their guns. There's no way out of this one. So they've already committed to the half buy. So the only thing to discuss here... I suppose so. Although that would be a cool function I'd like to see added in CS. Just able to sell your guns.
It would be a really cool function. And it would eliminate... I know a lot of people are saying that CS games take a lot of time. It would eliminate any of the misbuy restarts that some teams are able to get, which I think would cut down a lot of time. And it is kind of a nice feature because sometimes you click on one thing, but it gives you a scout. And then you're wondering why you have a scout when you already bought an M4 and you don't have armor anymore. Or am I the one who doesn't use buybinds and that's my fault?
Yeah, buybinds. Always a good idea in concept. And you fat finger a button, and then you have 2 guns, Boggs.
So it's the same end result, that's what you're saying.
Pretty much. I guess like they both have pros and cons, right? Like you can also misclick by using the buy wheel. Pros and cons, but right now it's cons is Polar Ace as they gain control of the connector and looking to start shifting over in towards bathrooms. Wolfie awaits. There is a triple stack in water, of course, peering over the short wall. There's no one there yet. I wonder how long they'll hold the stack for, Bob. Do they hold this for the whole round? Save the gun if it doesn't pan out?
Honestly, it might be a good call, because you can get the double op set up into the next round if you want to. And really, there's no need to throw away that armor, that kit, and that gun. You can get full utility up and kind of keep something into the next round as far as economy is concerned. Because with every passing round, Polar Race's economy will start to grow again. And as the gap closes, it's always harder for the CT side to get back into it. So for Swedish Canadians, keeping their economy strong is probably the best course of option, but it looks like this boost might just work out, Roy. The triple stack is going to come into factor. Battery 1, 2. Oh my gosh, almost the second kill. Not. How does he get the second kill there?
I have no idea, but the patience on that boost is impeccable. And Wolfie actually gets a gun out of that one. He won't be able to do much with it, and it's going to be Joel's doubling down. And I think with that round, Boggs, they might have just secured themselves an easy path to the finish line. Swedish Canadians, 15-9. And I believe only 2 AK-47s will be purchased here for Polar Ace. It will be a Galil for Renz and likely a Deagle and armor for Fen. And it appears they're now fighting for their lives, Boggs. 6 rounds in a row to do it. Full utility and AKs now available for the Swedish Canadians, as well as the op still in the hands of Wolfie.
Still not the buy you'd like up against match point, though. And Wolfie with that op is a terrible force to be reckoned with. And he's still holding out towards A. Might just get himself a kill or two. There's a boost over towards Woodwall this time, as Swedish Canadians fancying their chances on a different boost. Wolfie, though, wisely falls away to a more defensible position as he has no help with him. He spots them up. The rotations have to come in soon enough. Joel's over towards Khan. It's hurt Efton. He might even swing in for this. Indeed, he does. And there's the first kill going the way of Swedish Canadians. More utility being used back towards B, but it might just be an elaborate ruse, Roy. The bomb in towards Khan. 3 players aggressive towards A. Smokes might allow Polar Race to escape down towards Connector. McGowie swings through, uses the Molotov as a bit of a smoke, and will eliminate Wolfie, so that op will not come into play in this round. 4v4 and a chance for Polar Race, but Battery and Joel still holding tight onto the B site. Polar Race grouping up into Connector with 45 on the clock.
A 2-2 split here for the Canadians. Utility is still decent for Polar Race, right? They still have the molly for barrels. They still have the smoke for heaven. There it is. The smoke is used up. Going wide for the fight, but it's only good for 1. But this sets up Battery for multiple kills here. But it appears that Renz is, in fact, looking for it. The movement is there for Battery, but the aim on the second kill not quite connecting. Beck, Austin, 2 versus 2. They have a kit. They're healthy. The bomb is planted now, Boggs.
Swedish Canadians have no utility. Austin's already revealed his position. He knows somebody's in towards pit. At least he has an intuition of it. Beck's going to swing on down. Dangler does have a Molotov, though. And time is starting to tick a little bit lower. Vec's going to have to tap the bomb, or somebody's going to have to tap the bomb quickly. Unless that Molotov does come into factor, because there are no smokes for the CT side. And actually, Austin has enough time. Oh, he has to hold the damage of the spray and the Molotov. It's going to go the way of Dangler. He might not have the most frags on the server, but he does have an extremely critical clutch. It keeps Polar Ace in this round. It puts Swedish Canadians into a pretty awkward buy here. They're going to juggle some guns around quite considerably to get themselves rifles across the board. And, well, the lack of utility comes back to bite that CT side. 1 smoke is all they needed, Roy. And it was $300 too little to win that round.
Yeah, what an unfortunate end there for the Swedish Canadians. I mean, they had set themselves up so nicely for that one. But Polar Ace, I mean, Dangler, yes, maybe not statistically the highest, but he's showing up when it matters. Wolfie's inside the connector, waiting for the right time to strike. The smoke's soon gonna fade. He's not gonna have nowhere to hide, but he finds the kill nonetheless, and he gets a weapon off that from a CZ to a Galil. Beck runs through the smoke for the crossfire with Wolfie, and they go 2 for 1. Another favorable trade, and it's a 4 versus 2 now. Wolfie, Austin is re-aggressing as well in showers. If they eliminate Dangle, that's the bomb. Swooley, though, he gets 1. Austin eliminates him in the smoke, and that's the bomb drop. The 3 versus 1, and there it is. Wolfie to close it off. Again, not statistically the highest player, but playing his role when it matters. And Swedish Canadians, Boggs, they take the first win, 16-10.
That's a solid win for Swedish Canadians. Good fundamentals pushing them over the line, really, is what it came down to. And a lot of patience, too, on that side. To get that 15th round, that patience to keep that triple stack up into the latter portions, the dying embers of that round, really came through and helped them out a ton. And overall, really good job playing with the man advantage for Swedish Canadians, not over aggressing, getting that one pick and then saying, you know what, we got the advantage. Let's not push through this. Let's not overextend. Let's hold what we have. And well, it worked out well for him. Polar Ace, a valiant effort to make that comeback happen, down 11-4, but it just was too tall of a task for them to topple. And Swedish Canadians, well, they've started the season off on the right foot.
Hey, they're in the 1-0 pool now. That's all that matters, right? As long as you have that W at the end. But that was sloppy, right? I mean, you're going to be going up against potentially in the next week against Chaoses, the teams who are going to be going 1-0 as well. You can't be as sloppy as you were in this game, right? There are so many rounds where they should have had the advantage, clear-cut advantages, right? Firepower advantages, better weapons, more utility, and they're not playing it favorably for themselves. These are things that they will have to tighten up on, but I will give them the benefit of the doubt, Boggs. They are a fresh roster. There are some kinks they have to work through, and it will. I do have faith in this roster. I do believe that they will improve. But on the Polar Ace side, this is a fantastic team as well, right? Just some rounds going unfavorably, and they did get shut down pretty hard on their CT side, which can happen to anyone. But they had a good T side at least, so they have something to fall back on. But for now, that it concludes the action for us here for the first day of Season 4 of Winners League. We hope you've enjoyed the action. We hope you've enjoyed the content. And if you have, please follow our socials: Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We're everywhere, baby. Follow us along, and hopefully we'll be bringing you more action. And that will be tomorrow morning for the EU division. Keep your eyes on HLTV and as well as our win.gg platform, and we'll see you then.